Welcome to Chris and Huddy, and today we're going to be giving a review of Black Panther. We also have two guests with us. We have Resha and we also have Bianca. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing excellent.
Great.
How are you doing, Chris?
How you doing, AJ?
Great. Just out here living.
Okay.
The movie was great, by the way.
It was excellent. Go see it.
Go see it. All right. So for the first topic, we're going to talk about feminine strength. So with that, there's a lot of demonstrations of feminine strength in the movie. So the first thing I'm gonna go over is the warriors, for example. Like, weren't they crazy? Like, weren't they crazy skilled?
Right, it was fire.
That was so beautiful to me that their like greatest warriors were a group of black women. That said so much.
Yeah.
But you know, they're actually based off of like a real group of warriors. Those women.
Really?
Like that was real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read on Twitter. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, I read the same
But it
thing.
should be.
It was good to see like so many black women that had such a central role, because I feel like usually we pushed to the back of the movie or off to the side, but they were out there fighting, kicking ass and stuff. So that was really great for me to see. It made it more interesting because who doesn't love like strong black women that are out there doing stuff? So
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Because they also had like the warriors, but they also had like his sister. Like, she was like the main one behind like all the tech stuff and everything. And so
Yeah.
that also kind of like broke like a boundary, because usually, you know, it's also like he's always like a white man behind
Yeah,
doing
some
all that
older
stuff,
white man.
or like some like Asian person. Like, not like usually that's just how it is. And so to see like a black woman like going and doing something like that, being like the smartest person like really in the
world,
entire
yeah, her
movie, or like the
character,
entire
yeah.
world, like that was a whole nother like boundary like being broken. With all the stuff that she was doing, like the tech stuff she was doing, like it's crazy how she was driving a car but she won't dare, and like flying planes and
that
stuff
was
she
cool.
won't dare. I was like, how is she like
That technology.
Yeah.
Women can do things just as great as men, even better. Like, and if they work together, it's like, you know, they can execute like crazy. Like, for instance, in Wakanda, you could tell like the women are just as skilled as the men, and even like most of the women were even better.
Yeah, even more skilled. Really.
More skilled. Like, the average woman was just.
Yeah, because you notice when he went on his missions, he took the two women with him.
Yeah.
Instead of taking like, you know, the guy like the guy who was from Get Out, like the folks like from his tribe,
Yeah.
he decided to take them two with him because they were the best at what they did.
And the most loyal. They were the most loyal, and also, you know, that he had mutual trust like with them too. Like, all the men had mutual trust for the women in the movie.
I feel like also they serve like a protector role. So I mean, like, women are usually the protectors and usually loyal, like you said. I didn't even notice that part, but they had a really central role in like just keeping them safe and making sure everything was together, which I feel like is pretty much how we function anyways, on a deeper level. But yeah, I agree. Like, we're definitely even better than the men in the movie and in real life too. So.
Remember?
No shade. No shade. We're just saying.
Yeah, remember one of the quotes was, "I'm loyal to Wakanda and my king." Remember that?
Yeah.
She's like, you know, she's like,
No
that's
matter
her.
what.
Yeah, no matter what. That's,
She was ready to slice his
right.
neck.
That's her husband.
Then she hit him with
Yeah.
the sword stand. She's like,
Right. He said, "Would you kill me?" She said, "For Wakanda, without a question."
And that's
Right.
Right.
That put me in shock when I heard that. Like, man, just like that. Like, without,
But you know,
I
like,
was in my
as soon as you said that, everybody was like, "Hold on." Oh, they for real? Like, everybody stopped fighting as
Would
soon
you
as he
kill me,
dropped
my
it.
love? She was like, yeah.
All right, so on to the next topic. Is African Americans versus Africans, and with this, we're talking about values and morals. So, Chris, what do you think about this?
I feel like, well, in a sense, it kind of was like an African American versus like the Africans, as far as like with Black Panther and Killmonger, because Killmonger essentially was an African American, even though he technically like his roots were from Wakanda, like he grew up in Oakland, and so he grew up like as an African American, like with everything that, you know, we grew up with and the history and everything like that. And so once he came there, he was essentially like, you know, we as like Wakandans should be helping like our other African Americans and everyone else, like even not African Americans, but just like everyone who's like black in general, in the world. When the Wakandans were essentially just like, well, we kind of always like been home to protecting ourselves because we have like all the resources, we have like everything we need. But once we start trying to expand and everything, everyone's going to come back and try and like take things from us. So we have to protect ourselves first before we can try and liberate everybody else. And so it was a real good like argument in a sense, as far as like, because it kind of felt like you didn't know who like to choose for. Like you didn't know whether he was going to be on Killmonger's side or on Black Panther's side, because both of them kind of had valid points.
Good point. Mm-hmm. And there was a good line in the movie where she said we can't be judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah.
So that was their whole point, and then his point is we have to liberate the oppressed. Like that's our duty. Like if you have the power, the resources, we need to help.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was hard. I'm trying to choose a side.
I felt like the theme was weird though, because really when you think about it, the country that has like resources is going to be the states. As far as like the ability to help people on a more expansive level. I mean, the continent of Africa, of course, has large amounts of resources and they have people and things, but I just think there's so much wealth concentrated in America that it was really more of a reversal of the role, which was interesting to see. But I think like it was really representative of the opposite reality, which is that we as African Americans should do more outreach in our communities as well as in other international communities too. So,
and another thing is like we have to realize as African Americans, where do we come from? Africa. And so I feel like another deep meaning about this was like pay homage to where you're from and don't forget where you're from. And then like, you know how Killmonger is pretty much saying we were brought against our will to the States. And so that's where like the whole misconception was, like they're really both on the same side if you think about it.
Yeah.
They're both on the same side. They're just both disagreeing about, resources kind of.
Yeah, and how to go about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Killmonger was kind of doing some outlandish like type stuff as far as like going about it. Like he was tripping. Like
it's like we're gonna weaponize everything and kill everybody.
Burn all the magic flowers and whatnot. When he did that, I was like, you tripping.
Right.
He's like, burn it all.
I ain't never, like Huddy Davis, I ain't never ever seen nobody act up like this.
And then I feel like, I mean, I don't know, but I feel like sometimes like Africans from Africa might not look down on us, but view us differently because they think that we might not know where we come from.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there was that in the movie too. Like they were, maybe if he had grown up, that's why he kept saying, why didn't you were wrong, why didn't you bring him home, why didn't you have him grow up with us and know our ways and our position, because maybe they wouldn't have all those problems if he had grown up in Africa and knew where his home was.
Right. Or maybe he could have went about it differently.
Yeah.
Because technically they were both of like the royal family.
Yeah.
So both of them did have right like to the throne. And so maybe if it wasn't for him kind of like growing up with a whole bunch of hate, then he may have became king, but he kind of would have went about it in a whole different way and not try to, oppress everybody else that oppressed like him or other like people who are other like minorities who are being oppressed, but more so kind of like just give like support rather than trying like to tear everybody down and like he said like kill anybody who kind of gets in his way.
Yeah.
Like that's not a hard way to go through.
No, when he took off, you know how he has like the what are the lashes? Not the lashes. I don't know what they're called.
Those little bumps on
there. Yeah, and he was like, each one is a kill, and he was like, I've done all this just to get to you, and I was like, oh, you. I was like, well, you have to lose this fight. I know. As soon as he took that jacket off, I was like, oh, you about to get your ass for real.
Hey, another thing, don't go to movies with these two. Don't go to movies with these two, please.
And he was just in the middle. It was Chris, Anthony, and me. Chris was whispering. Not even whispering. I'm not even gonna do that. It's to the people behind him, so I know they heard. Chris was talking. I was commentating because I felt like my opinion matters. And Anthony was just in the middle, and
he was just chilling.
I was just eating. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We had to have the popcorn between him because you couldn't have it like on one end. We had to keep it in the middle, so he's just kind of just like the mediator.
He's going through it. He holding the food. He listening to the black folk.
I would have been that person who's like, shut the hell up. I gotta watch this damn movie.
Like I got mad at Chris that I started talking.
All right, so I got a question for all you guys. So if you guys are outsiders, you guys, third person party, not necessarily you guys aren't black, just pretend you guys aren't black. Mm-hmm. Whose side do you guys feel for more? Killmonger or Black Panther? Without being biased, because like you saw how they executed, what's right from wrong, like in that like aspect. But who do you think had like the right motive?
Well, I mean, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. But being that you said if I wasn't black answering, like I'm trying to figure, okay, I'm a middle-aged white man. As a middle-aged white man, I feel like he would think that he would take the side of the Wakandans. That's what
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
I think he would take their side because I don't think he would be for the liberation of the oppressed, because that would have no benefit to him. So, but just having an opinion of just anybody, just a general opinion, I would liberate the oppressed.
Yeah, I'm definitely more with the Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger side, just because, I mean, he can't help it that his daddy died, like, that he got killed. And secondly, I think he had a good point about, like, reaching out and actually giving people the tools to be successful, even though I don't agree with the whole, like, let's kill everybody thing. Outside of that, though, I thought it was good up until that point where he was like, let's kill everybody.
Right.
But yeah, I do think there's something to be said about, like, liberating people and giving them power and things that actually will make a difference, because all that talk Black Panther was doing, like, you can't do nothing with diplomacy after, like, diplomacy fails.
If I weren't a black person, I probably would side more with the Wakandans as far as, like, protect our resources, protect home first, and then because, like, it's a lot of people that want what we have, so we had to make sure we protect what we have and not be, like, overrun by it, because it's essentially us against the world in a way. But you know, me being, like, the person that I am, like, I feel for what Killmonger was trying to do as far as, like, liberating the oppressed. Because, I mean, in a sense, he was right. Like, y'all are the most advanced people in the world, and it's literally, like, hundreds, thousands, like, millions of people who are starving, but also, like, they essentially are just like you. Like, we all like have originated from Africa. We all share the same complexion. We all share, like, I wouldn't say the same struggles because they're not struggling, but you know what I'm saying. Like, they're all struggling, and so they don't have anyone helping them. And so for y'all especially, it would be like y'all, like, they're heroes in a sense. If y'all were to come down and try and help them, give them some kind of resources, give them a way to speak up or to fight back or whatever. So I see, like, why, like, I see his perspective and, like, why he felt that way. And so I kind of side with him. It's just, I'm not as outlandish as he is.
About going about it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if they meant to, but they touched on, like, a lot of issues that we face as black people, like with him losing his dad, one, two, to him losing his dad with black on black crime.
Yeah.
I mean, and then three, like, I remember when they were doing, like, the fight scene at the end of the movie, and I was thinking to myself, like, you know, I hate to say, but where's the white people? Why they ain't fighting the white people? Like, we're fighting each other once again.
Yeah.
And so maybe in Black Panther 2 we'll get some action in the States. But I just noticed that it was like this. It's like the same kind of issues that we're dealing with that was in the movie.
Yeah, because we're always fighting amongst each other, and so, like, until we stop fighting amongst each other, that's when we can finally, like at the end, like, finally like reach out and, like, start being better as a people and as a whole.
Right.
But one other thing I kind of want, like, to bring up. Where was Killmonger's mom the entire time, like, all this happened? Like, I don't remember them ever, like, really. Did he even have, like, a mom?
I feel like did he mention her in that little short?
Yeah, he said that she, like, they just said that he had a baby with her, but they never,
said
like,
he fell in love with
up.
an American and had a baby.
Yeah.
They never followed up on what happened.
Maybe she wanted to do her own.
I was gonna say, I don't know, because I don't know if she left or if she, like, died. I don't think she died. But
I feel like she left.
I want to say she left, but it was like such a quick little, like, you know, afterthought, like, kind of thing. It was like it didn't really, like, resonate, like, with the entire story, because it was mainly just his dad died. That's why he is who he is. It was like, where his mama go? Like, nobody told his mama that, you know, hey, your son's dad died, so he kind of here on his own, like.
Yeah, they should have cleared that up. Well, we will. His mother abandoned him. She moved to California to pursue a career in singing, and that's what happened.
Hey, another comparison I want to bring up. I feel like Black Panther is looked at as, like, he's MLK, and Killmonger is Malcolm X. Like, just the way they kind of
I can see
took
it.
action.
I can see that. Yeah.
But that's funny because he's Black Panther, so you think that, I mean, Malcolm X didn't start the Black Panthers, but he influenced the movement, so you think that it would be the reverse. But I guess everything was kind of like switched in terms of concept in the movie.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, like a whole lot of like subtopics that really like go on like with this movie.
Yeah.
Like another one that I feel like it kind of touched on as far as like the Wakandans, like when you think about it, as far as like just within this country of people being oppressed, like it's a lot of people, especially black people, who don't have much or don't have like a voice, whatever. And so the people who have that power, the Wakandans in a sense, are the black people like with money, in a sense, the ones who have like a platform, the ones who have more. And so instead of them kind of doing like the Wakandans were, sheltering themselves, like we have to take care of us because no one's going to help us, like we worked hard to get this, so we just have to maintain. Like, I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, like there's many other people who are just like y'all, who are at least trying to make it or trying to do something. Like, if y'all aren't going to help us, who else will?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's on, us Americans or people with money in general as the Wakandans in a sense to help the oppressed in whatever way we can, because not everybody has like the opportunity like in order to do so in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I feel like celebrities definitely have, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess their argument could be, I'm just an artist, or I just want to create.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if you have that platform and that voice, you should definitely use it. And a lot of them don't, and are looked down by the black community for not speaking up for us.
How do y'all feel about the whole ceremonial thing where they do, where it's like the Black Panther, he loses his power, and they, how do you guys feel about that? Like they kind of even the playing field for everyone, and they take out his powers. Like how do y'all feel about that?
I don't feel like they should have taken his powers. I feel like if you bold,
If you talking,
right. If you volunteer as tribute and whatnot, then get on down here.
I mean, he had rights. He had rights,
What?
technically. Killmonger, he had rights to challenge him.
Oh yeah.
Well, even like in the beginning of the movie, when they had like those other people like challenged, like I thought it was interesting that they were able to take his powers away and give him back to him, because in a sense, like it's kind of like a total like monarchy as far as like how like their civilization is ran, but at the same time, the people in a sense or the people around him still have the power to like, okay, this power can be taken away. It's not absolute. It can be taken away at any given time. Say if if you're not running the country right, say if you start being too much of a tyrant or something like that, like we can take your literal power away, and then we can have it set up to where like we can essentially impeach you or get rid of you if someone else is like able to stand up. Like they were willing to give the power to one of the other tribes, like the tribes like in the snow, I forgot what they're called, but they're willing to give him that power, like after Michael B. Jordan went and burned everything down, said there's no going to be no other kings other than me. Like they was willing to give somebody else that power too. So it's like you can distribute it to whoever you want to. It's not all just on that one family, that one monarchy in a sense. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
So for the next topic, we're going to go in on colonization. So we all know Conda is, in a general sense, representing Africa as a continent. And so we know that's where all the resources are, that's where all of them started. And a lot of colonists would actually come from other countries and, take it over. Do you guys really feel like at the end of the movie, I mean, we're kind of going to give you a little reveal right here, but I mean, we kind of have to. Do you feel like he should have revealed the resources of Wakanda to the world?
Yeah, I do. I do think if you have the power and the resources, then definitely share it. I mean, I would hope, I guess we'll see in number 2, but I would hope that they maintain some type of control and some type of, authority over whatever they decide to share, and it doesn't become an issue. But yeah, I do think that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, I thought the weird part was just that they kind of left the one white guy who's from the CIA. Like, once he discovered that they had vibranium, I wanted them to kind of talk more about, like, what are we going to do with it? Because now they know that Wakanda has vibranium, so, like, is the U.S. going to try to, like, take advantage of that? Because, we try to take advantage of everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're also a colonizing country. And so I was kind of wondering, like, once he revealed that the vibranium, like, they were going to share it with the world, I thought that was great. But then I was kind of like, dang, like, which one of these heifers is going to take advantage of them first?
Yeah, because Claw essentially tried to take advantage of them because he's the one like to stole the vibranium. He knew about the Wakandas and everything because he dealt with them trying to take the vibranium and like use it like for himself. So you would have thought that they would have, like, after they had him, like, with them and everything through the whole, like, final battle and all that, they kind of been like, okay, so here's the deal, like, we're gonna need to basically, like, debrief you as far as, like, you can't reveal this and this and this, or like something like that in a sense, because I mean, yeah, they're opening like their doors and like welcoming like other folks like in, like, to help them. It's a world full of superheroes and supervillains, so it's gonna be plenty of people to be like, oh, we see, so y'all have this, so I'm gonna try and take over Wakanda because I want what y'all have, in a sense. And so, like I said, it's essentially them against the world. I mean, now they may have other allies that'll help them, but if you see like only one country of people have like the most valuable thing in the world or the most powerful thing in the world, you think somebody else ain't gonna try and take that?
Yeah.
Like,
and then they became so powerful because they had protected themselves. You know, kind of not like shared with the world for so long. So it'll be interesting.
I mean, I'm just looking forward to like a part 2 because now I want to know.
Or they have to have a part 2.
Oh, yeah, they got to.
It wouldn't make sense if they didn't make a number 2.
They can make like 3 Iron Mans. Then
they can make that stretch.
They can make 3 Black Panthers,
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
I really hope they bring back Michael though. I tell you, I hope they figure it out. Because at the end of the day, this is fiction. I feel like what we could do is, I'm just throwing it out there, do y'all. But I feel like, you know, he's from Wakanda. He has the lineage. I feel like maybe he still has a little bit of Black Panther in him, and he could, you know, resurrect shirtless.
That's the main thing.
Throwing that out there. Catch it if you want to.
I don't know about shirtless. He had all these things on him at that point.
We can work with that. That ain't nothing.
Another interesting scene was when Black Panther's sister was like, oh no, she referred to people as colonizers. That was interesting to me.
Yeah, the outsiders, colonizers.
Yeah, all outsiders will be colonizers.
So that's like,
True.
That shows you the value of Wakandans. Like, we can't really trust anyone else because we've been protecting each other for so long. Anyone else, if they come in, they're gonna take what we've been protecting for all these years.
But it was cool to see, like, with our brains and our talent, you know, because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure before they started to tap into their resources, they were just a regular African tribe. Mm-hmm. So it was cool to see with, you know, our brains and our talents what we could do with those resources ourselves.
The entire like movie itself, like, it essentially is almost like a movement in a sense. Like, you have people like churches, like Black community groups, like a whole bunch of like people are like building like rallies and like building people together like, to go and like see this movie, because it's like it almost feels like the old like Black Panther like one of like movements in a sense. Like, the amount of support this movie is getting is crazy. This for real finna be like the new like Black History Month thing. If you think about it,
If I met y'all out in public walking around like this, I'm done with y'all.
I mean,
oh my God.
Did you see at the All-Star game when Victor Oladipo, he put on the Black Panther mask, and him and Chadwick Boseman did the Black Panther thing?
With his fine self. Where did Chadwick come from?
Right.
Chadwick was not that cute in the last couple movies he did. This man came out of nowhere. Good God, with the gap and all, I tell you what.
Absolutely.
We had a great looking cast. Wakanda is like Atlanta.
Atlanta. We'll find out number 2.
So with that being said, we're gonna say thank you to our guests, Resha and Bianca.
Thank y'all for having us.
Yeah, thanks
No
for
problem.
having us.
Risha, is there anything you would like to share to us?
Yes. Okay, so check out my podcast on Soundcloud. It's called How to Be Black Without Trying. I featured Chris and Huddy on an episode, and I'm super excited. You might have to turn the volume up because their voices are so deep. You can barely hear them, but... And then check out my Instagram at SwansonBroth13.
All right, and thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
See y'all.